everybody, it's Natalie. I was wanting to come back with a part 2 to the changing your lines, your cut lines from print to cut to plain cut, but I also wanted to show you that you can change them back to print to cut after you've switched them back. I really like this little bee, and I have a friend who has a honey farm, and she wanted me to make her some labels. And so I've done these for a print to cut label that I can print and cut out of sticker paper. But I wanted to show you my process because it's so fun to design stuff on here and then be able to print it out. So what you have to do is you have your bee, and of course I've attached that to the fonts there. But you have your bee, and then you have your font, and you've got these. This was a text that I had, but it can be blown up into shapes and used as cut files. So in order to get this look that I've got over here, there's several things that you can do. First, you have to change your cut file to that bee to print. Okay, and now it's still just plain black. So I'm going to go over here, and because I've already got this up and made, I've already got the color. It's this color right here. Now that will print that in that kind of a yellowish beige color there when I put it to my printer. And then you've got this little label image here, and that's got to be changed to a print to cut as well. So right now it's just plain cut. Same thing, you go up here to fill, push the little arrow, change it to print. Now I can change this to whatever color I want. Like if I want white, I can do white. Now my bee's showing up because it's not the same color. But this is what's really cool about Cricut Design Space. You can go from print type color, but if you see this little arrow here, you can drop down there and change that to pattern. All right. So then it's going to pull up all these different patterns. I even loaded up a honeycomb pattern, which didn't look very well on there. I didn't think it looked good. So I'm going to filter that because it's easier to find if I just go over here and choose off-white. And there's lots of different, a lot of them would have been really pretty. I mean, I could have picked any of these and they would have been really pretty. But I chose this one here. And it's kind of just an off-white with, well, no, that one's not right, but that works too. I chose this one. I thought I passed it up. Okay. Now, you've got a pattern that it's going to print onto your sticker, but there's still more to do. You have to change the font also to a print to cut. Change the color. It's a little more detailed when you're doing it from scratch, but I already had everything picked out and stuff whenever I was decided to do this tutorial, so I wouldn't have to be searching for stuff and wasting your time. Oops, forgot to change it to print. Now the last thing is to change that black one to also a print and cut. And then change the color to that honey color. Okay, now I'm going to hide this one for right now. It's flattened already. I'm going to show you what will happen right now if I decided I like the way it looks, everything's centered. But if I try to make it right now, guess what's going to happen? It's going to cut out everything separately. And I don't want that. What do I got to do? It's still going to do a print to cut, but it's going to print out and cut my bee. It's going to cut the Happy Bee Farm, and it's going to cut out fresh honey, and everything's going to be separate, and then I have to glue it all together. I don't want to mess with all that. Cancel the cut. So how do I change that? I'm going to go up here to select all once I have my image exactly the way I want it. And I'm going to flatten it. When you do print to cut and you're working with different layers, you want to use this flattened feature here. Now, it's one piece, just like the other one. I've got two of them now. And watch now what happens when I click make it. So now it's going to print off two of those. I can tell my Cricut to cut however many I want and then click apply. And it looks like it only print 3 on a piece of paper. And that's fine. So now what? Next, you're going to have to make sure that you have your printer hooked to your computer. It does not hook to your printer, to your Cricut, and your Cricut is not going to print. So you have to have a printer. Any printer is going to work. Inkjet, LaserJet. They even have those high-end sublimation printers which work with the new printable Sizer or Caesar vinyl. It's a printable vinyl, and you can do sublimation on it and then iron it onto a dark or light t-shirts. But in this case, I was going to do stickers so that you can get like sticker paper at Michael's or online or wherever. Now, before you can cut, you have to print, right? So this is going to take you through the process. It's going to say print images on a printer of your choice. Okay. Then you're going to click send to printer. And now on this is my printer. I've got that printer. And then I used to have another printer, but I don't anymore. This is where you're going to choose which printer. So in order for me to print that, I'm going to choose that printer. I don't have it turned on or anything. I wish that I had a way to record actual physical face-to-face tutorial so I could show you the whole process, but I don't right now. So you're just going to imagine that I printed this. Now you want to make sure add bleed is on, and what that does is it will print a little bit of this color beyond the cut line so that when your printer or when your Cricut goes to cut this, you're not going to have some ugly white border on there. It's going to cut and be solid honey colored all the way to the edge of your sticker. And then you're going to push print and it'll print it. Okay? It'll print this box. Don't worry about that box. That's what your Cricut uses as it scans this. When you put your mat in there with your material loaded on there, it's going to scan this, and it's going to do a long process where it reads this box and it knows exactly where to cut on the mat. But, so we're going to pretend like I printed it. And now you're just going to decide what material that you're going to use. I'm going to say sticker paper. So I'm going to go to paper right here. Let's see. Paper adhesive back. That's probably what you would use right there. Done. And then it's going to connect to your machine, send the information to your machine. You'll load your sticker paper or whatever it is you're wanting to cut onto your mat, just like you would any other material. Send it to your machine, put it in there, and then push make it. You've got your stickers, your printed decal now, and you're good to go. So I'm going to cancel that cut because we're done. We're going to pretend like I printed these. I wish I could. All right, I hope this tutorial will help you. If you have questions, as usual, go ahead and send me a message or just post right under this video. I really enjoy doing these tutorials, and I hope you are getting the most out of them that you can. Y'all have a good day.